Welcome to Monster Trailcams, the thrilling crossroads of mystery and technology, where unexplainable footage of strange creatures caught on trail cams are showcased. From all corners of the world, our community members contribute their most peculiar captures, ensuring an endless stream of eerie intrigue. With Monster Trailcams, you become part of a global network of thrill seekers and mystery hunters. So whether it's shadowy figures in the woods or inexplicable shapes prowling the night, this is your home for the bizarre and uncanny. Join us, hit that subscribe button, and step into a world of the wild and unexplained. Buckle up, it's a wild ride. Well, here's a little something that might just make you pull the blankets up a little higher tonight. This here is a piece of footage snagged by a trail cam that was initially set up to catch a glimpse of some nighttime critters. But instead of a deer or a raccoon, this camera seems to have snagged something quite different, something that's maybe a bit eerie. You see, there's something moving right across that screen there. It's got this spooky sort of quality to it, almost like you're watching a cloud or some kind of fog that's up and decided to start moving all on its own. Kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies, right? And it's tough to tell whether we're looking at a couple of these strange beings or if it's just one, but with a lot going on. One thing that's real uncanny is that it sort of moves like one of them dinosaurs you see in the movies, the kind that stands tall on two legs. You start to wonder if this might be the leftover spirit of a long-gone dinosaur, a ghost that's been haunting the earth for thousands and thousands of years, or maybe it's something even creepier than that. The thing is, this creature, or whatever it is, didn't quite show up clear enough on the camera for us to figure out exactly what we're dealing with. It's all pretty mysterious, ain't it? If you've got any hunches about what this oddball creature could be, don't keep it to yourself. We're all ears. Now let's dive into this intriguing video captured on Lake Superior. The footage begins with a mesmerizing view from a boat, gazing out towards a small island nestled on the edge of the vast lake. Lake Superior is renowned for its countless small islands scattered along its shores, so spotting one isn't anything out of the ordinary. These islands often serve as refuge for various wildlife, with animals either swimming or traversing across the frozen lake during winter. Upon examining the surrounding landscape, it's evident that this particular island isn't too far from the mainland. Naturally, one would expect to encounter local fauna inhabiting such islands. However, as the video rolls, something peculiar catches the eye. Are you ready? Keep your eyes peeled. Do you see that figure moving amidst the foliage? It's a colossal primate-like creature, reminiscent of legends like the Bigfoot or the North American great ape. Its entire body is covered in thick brown hair, providing it with adequate camouflage in the dense wilderness. Strikingly, the creature does not seem to be adorned in any clothing or accessories. One can't help but wonder, could it be a person in an elaborate costume trying to pull a prank on unsuspecting boaters passing by? It's certainly a possibility worth considering. However, if this is indeed a human-made fabrication, then the question lingers. What could potentially motivate an individual to venture out to this secluded island just to create a hoax? Is it purely for the thrill of fooling others? Perhaps so. Yet the enigma deepens, leaving you with the ultimate puzzling inquiry. Could there truly exist an undocumented species of primate quietly dwelling in the dense forests of North America? Could this elusive creature be taking advantage of the Great Lake's expansive cover to remain hidden from prying eyes? As you watch the footage, skepticism may arise. Could it be skillfully edited to deceive the viewers or capture the ever-elusive Sasquatch in all its glory? If it's a hoax, it's undoubtedly a remarkably convincing one. Now, my friend, the verdict lies in your hands. Analyze the evidence, contemplate the possibilities, and reach your own conclusion. Is this encounter with an unknown creature genuine, or is there a more rational explanation behind it? We've got a still photo here, snapped from a trail cam, and let me tell you, it's a doozy. At first glance, you might think it's just a simple bear caught in the act, but oh boy, there's so much more to this story. So take a closer look at this peculiar creature. It has the face of a bear, but something is seriously off about its body. Let's talk about those front legs, shall we? They're freakishly long, much longer than your typical black bear. And if that doesn't leave you scratching your head, wait till you get a load of those hind legs. The angle at which the thigh and knee bend suggests a body structure more reminiscent of a human or some kind of human-like being. Now, here's where things get really interesting. When we started digging into the archives, we came up empty-handed. There were no records, no ancient legends, not even a whisper of this creature's existence. It's like it appeared out of thin air. That being said, let's explore a couple of intriguing possibilities, shall we? First up, we have the theory that this could be some sort of shapeshifter. You know, those elusive beings that have the uncanny ability to transform into different shapes and forms. It's possible that this particular shapeshifter attempted to mimic a black bear, but failed to recreate the exact likeness. And hey, who knows, maybe this is their first go at bear transformation. Now brace yourselves for option number 2. Some people suggest that this creature could be a skinwalker. According to Native American folklore, these beings have the power to assume the form of any animal they desire. Could it be that we're staring at a real live, bone-chilling skinwalker caught on camera? But hold your breath, my friends, because there's one last possibility we need to explore. What if, just what if, this is an entirely unknown cryptid? We've barely scratched the surface of the vast world of mysterious creatures that inhabit our planet. Maybe, just maybe, this Trailcam managed to capture a new species, one that science hasn't quite discovered yet. So, there you have it, folks. An enigmatic photo that leaves us with more questions than answers. Is this a shapeshifter's failed attempt, a skinwalker, or an undocumented cryptid? It's up to you to decide. We have an intriguing video that showcases an extraordinary encounter experienced by a brave man residing in a secluded cabin deep within the enchanting forests of the Ogal River bottoms in rural Wisconsin. Now let me tell you, my friends, the Ogal River bottoms are notorious for their mysterious and inexplicable happenings, so much so that the local residents have long been warned to not meddle with the unknown. However, when your cherished home becomes the battleground, simply walking away isn't always an option. The mastermind behind this spine-chilling footage has been plagued by unexplained disturbances for quite some time, yet the true identity of the troublemaker has remained shrouded in secrecy. Initially, he would hear unsettling crashes emanating from the dense woods as he sat near the fire pit, as we can quickly glimpse in the frame. Gradually, the situation began to escalate, with loud bangs echoing through the walls of his humble cabin and piles of perfectly chopped wood scattered without apparent cause. Remarkably, throughout this daunting ordeal, not once did the man catch sight of the elusive creature responsible for wreaking havoc in his tranquil abode. Pondering the mischievous culprit behind this enigma, he contemplated the possibility of a belligerent black bear stirring up trouble. However, all uncertainties were dispelled when an eerie, otherworldly sound reverberated from the depths of the forest. Believe me when I say this unearthly howl defied all logical explanations and bore no resemblance to the usual inhabitants of the Wisconsin woods. In my humble opinion, it leads me to believe that our brave adventurer may indeed be grappling with none other than a territorial Sasquatch, for only one creature in all of North America possesses such a distinctive and bone-chilling howl. But enough of my speculations. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this perplexing and hair-raising encounter. What do you believe is lurking in those dark and foreboding woods? This creature captured in the image has got us scratching our heads. Is this a real, undiscovered cryptid lurking in the shadows, or are we dealing with some cleverly crafted hoax? Let's break it down together. First off, let's talk about the creature's appearance. From what I can see, it seems to be a strange combination of a black bear and an ape. It's like nothing we've seen before. Take a look at that face, mostly bear-like but with a shorter snout. It definitely has the signature coat of a black bear, but its anatomy is throwing us for a loop. Now, what makes this creature even more peculiar is its apparent ability to walk on two legs, at least to some extent. Those hind legs have such a human-like angle to them, it's uncanny. Yet we can't deny that this creature is far from human. It's like a mashup of nature's creations. Now let's delve into some theories. Could this be the result of a top-secret government experiment, blending different species to create this extraordinary hybrid? Or maybe it's something much grander, a creature from a long-lost era, brought back from the depths of time, like an Ice Age relic. Interestingly, it does bear a resemblance to the skeletal remains of the extinct short-faced bear. Talk about mysteries overlapping. So what are your thoughts on this mind-bending image? Is it an authentic snapshot of an undiscovered wonder, or perhaps a cleverly photoshopped creation to stir up some paranormal commotion? Brace yourselves, because this one's a bit spooky. It's another one of those infamous blurry videos capturing what seems to be the elusive creature known as Bigfoot. And boy, oh boy, this time it's a little closer to the camera, giving us a clearer view of its majestic features. You see, in this particular footage, Bigfoot is making a suspiciously hasty retreat from a group of eager humans who are desperately trying to capture definitive evidence of its existence. As the video plays out, we gradually get a better glimpse of this mysterious creature. And let me tell you, the details are tantalizing. Now, what stands out initially is the color of Bigfoot's coat. It's a rich and earthy tone, almost resembling a delectable bar of chocolate. This Bigfoot is rocking a coat that would make even Willy Wonka drool with envy. But that's not all. Its entire body is engulfed in a dense, luxurious layer of thick hair, giving it an unmistakable wild and untamed appearance. But here's where things get really interesting. As this creature scurries away, clearly spooked, it's heading straight towards the safety of the surrounding forest. And this raises a thought-provoking question. Is Bigfoot truly a ferocious predator, or merely a misunderstood being yearning for peaceful coexistence with us humans? I know, it's a real head-scratcher. Well, folks, we've got quite a spectacle for you today. Here's an instance that is pretty hard to dismiss. It's what appears to be Bigfoot, sauntering nonchalantly through an airy open forest. This particular video clip, arguably one of the most distinct and vivid we've showcased on our channel so far, truly gives a new perspective to this enduring mystery. With no clutter of undergrowth or density of trees to obscure the view in this specific woodland, we can catch a really good glimpse of this creature's structure and stride. The video footage allows us to distinctly notice its primate-like face and its body, which is covered in a thick layer of hair, akin to that of an ape or a gorilla. But what's most astonishing here is the way it comfortably walks upright on its two hind legs, quite like a human. This sight naturally sparks an age-old question. Is this just a well-crafted gimmick, a person disguised in a very realistic gorilla suit? The people who recorded this video are firm in their stance. They deny any notion of it being a hoax. They revealed that the clip originates from a public forest located in Maine, although they seemed hesitant to name the exact forest. Regardless of where precisely this footage was captured, it was shot approximately 5 miles away from the main trail. These hikers say they managed to record this mesmerizing scene while covertly tucked away behind a tree, their hearts pounding as the creature made its passage. They didn't remain on the spot to discover where it was off to, or to try and capture more of its movement. Now, the real question that remains: is this an authentic Bigfoot sighting, or just a cleverly staged impersonation? That's for you to decide, folks. Make what you will of it. Shapeshifters, the captivating creatures from countless myths and tales, have made their marks on our culture as elusive tricksters and menacing predators. Every civilization, every corner of the world seems to have its version of these intriguing beings. In some folklore, shapeshifters take the form of powerful shaman or cunning witches, individuals with the magical ability to change their forms. In others, they're depicted as mysterious supernatural entities whose origins and identities remain an enigma. There are still many unanswered questions about the nature of these shapeshifters. One prominent debate revolves around whether these beings need to acquire the skin or essence of the creature they intend to impersonate. Some stories suggest they do, while others leave this detail ambiguous. Despite these differences, there is one common thread running through all tales of shapeshifting, a noticeable wrongness or off-kilter detail in their transformation. This element of otherness can manifest in numerous ways. It could be as subtle as an unexpected eye color or as glaring as a noticeable physical deformity. Regardless of the form it takes, this peculiarity serves as a telltale sign of the shapeshifter's true nature. Consider this intriguing footage that we've obtained of two seemingly ordinary deer. Watch closely as the first deer bounds across the road with agile leaps, quickly disappearing into the tall, swaying grasses. But it's the second deer that truly captures our interest. Anyone who watches can see that something is amiss with this creature. Its neck is bent oddly to the side and remains unnaturally fixed in this position. Could this be a case of a poor animal suffering from a spinal abnormality? Or is it a more enchanting theory? A shapeshifter who hasn't quite mastered the art of disguise, trapped in the form of a deer with a twisted neck. Furthermore, we must ponder the survival odds for a wild deer with such a noticeable physical disadvantage. The unforgiving laws of nature demand swift mobility and agility for survival, a trait this deer clearly lacks. Feeding and escaping potential predators would seem a Herculean task for an animal bearing such an apparent injury. Thus, the existence of this deer in the wild seems nearly impossible. Could this in fact be a shapeshifter who has faltered in its transformation, unmasked by its inability to fully mimic the physical characteristics of a healthy deer? The mystery continues to enthrall us, and perhaps we may never truly know the answer. But the charm and intrigue of shapeshifters remain, captivating our imaginations, stirring our curiosity, and continuing to make us question the world around us. In this captivating piece, we venture into the wild landscapes of northwestern Minnesota, where a Trailcam holds an astounding still image. The intention behind capturing the local wildlife was innocent enough, but what the camera captured was anything but ordinary. Within the frame, we are presented with a deer that possesses an awe-inspiring and inexplicable feature: a glowing face. This revelation begs the question of whether there exists a supernatural explanation for this bizarre occurrence, or if it is simply an unfortunate camera malfunction. While it is known that animals' eyes tend to glow when exposed to camera light, the image portrays an entire head radiating with an otherworldly luminosity. Such a phenomenon leaves us wondering about the root cause behind this unanticipated display. Now envision if we were fortunate enough to encounter this enigmatic creature face to face. Would it resemble a conventional deer, or is there an intricate tale unfolding here? In the realm of the supernatural, entities have been known to manifest themselves in a similar manner through the lens of a camera. Could it be that this creature is, in fact, a forest spirit, gracefully traversing the woodland as it poses as a deer? Alternately, is there a more sinister undertone hidden within this peculiar depiction? We've received exclusive footage from a daring individual who stumbled upon something quite extraordinary. This intrepid individual claims to have unveiled evidence of mystical, gnome-like beings residing deep within the enchanting forests of Kentucky. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How can we simply dismiss this peculiar man and his claims without delving into the evidence ourselves? That's precisely why we're here today. This adventurer has made an off-grid cabin his home, nestled amidst the very woods where these extraordinary creatures supposedly dwell. And let me tell you, this man, well, he's quite a character. But hold your judgment, for we must not discredit him before thoroughly examining the footage he has painstakingly captured. According to this unique individual, these elusive creatures pay frequent visits to his humble abode, indulging in mischievous activities that only add to their enigmatic nature. He insists that they play harmless pranks on him, such as rearranging his belongings, tampering with his solar panels, and even pilfering his precious food supplies. Claiming sporadic sightings, our videographer has dedicated himself to capturing unequivocal video evidence ever since. And what you are about to witness is precisely that, the documented video evidence of these elusive beings. As you feast your eyes upon this footage, let your imagination roam free. Could this be genuine, irrefutable proof of undiscovered creatures dwelling deep within the mystical caves of Kentucky? Or perhaps it's an elaborate fabrication, designed to captivate our attention and generate buzz? It is up to you to be the ultimate judge. Now let's take a closer look at this fascinating video captured by a hiking couple while they were exploring the enchanting woods right in their own backyard. At first glance, everything appeared to be utterly normal, with the couple savoring the beauty of nature. However, their adventure took an unexpected twist when they stumbled upon something quite extraordinary. Caught off guard, they came to a sudden halt as their eyes fixated on a peculiar sight tucked away between the towering trees. Little did they realize that what stood before them was no ordinary creature. As the couple peered closer, their astonishment grew. Slowly, the mysterious figure rose from its crouched position, drawing their full attention. But what exactly was it? At first glance, it seemed to possess characteristics of both a small monkey and a human. Its movements were strangely awkward, almost reminiscent of a sloth, adding to the aura of intrigue. In folklore, there have been tales of mythical monkey people dwelling in remote forested areas, their existence shrouded in mystery. Could this be one such fantastical creature right in front of our eyes? Or was it perhaps one of the elusive little people known to inhabit caves, notorious for their mischievous pranks on unsuspecting humans, yet ultimately harmless? As the couple wisely decided to make their escape before the creature could approach them any closer, they were left with mere glimpses and endless questions. Could it be a misunderstood forest-dwelling species yet to be discovered by science? Or could it simply be a product of our boundless imagination? Remember when we talked about footprints that were found at the edge of the huge Canyonlands National Park? They were found by two people who were out walking. It had rained a lot, which is weird for this time of year. Because of the rain, the ground was soft and muddy. This made it easy to see footprints left behind by creatures. So these two people, right at the start of the day, around 8:30 in the morning, they spot something weird on the ground. There were giant footprints, and they looked like they were made by something big and heavy. Because they thought this was something important, the people quickly took pictures and showed them to the park rangers. They didn't have anything to measure how big the footprints were, but when we look at the pictures they took and compare them to the size of things we know, we can guess that whatever left those prints had really big feet, like between 18 to 22 inches long. That's as long as a yardstick is wide. The footprints kind of looked like a person's footprints. You can even see where the toes would be. So we start to wonder, could there be a Bigfoot living in the desert? Or maybe it's some other big animal that we haven't found yet, like a huge monkey or ape that no one knows about. It's exciting to think about, but also kind of scary. We'll need to find more clues to know for sure. Now, let's dive deeper into this incredible footage sent in by two brave explorers who dared to take a winter journey through the magnificent Sierra Nevada mountains. The scene may initially seem like a quiet winter idyll, almost like a scene from a snow globe, but in reality, it's bustling with extraordinary happenings. Let's turn your attention to the tree line along the ridge, where the silhouette of a tree is causing quite the commotion. Unbelievably, this tree is oscillating wildly while its neighbors remain as still as statues. Then, as if in a scene from a fantasy novel, the tree appears to detach itself from the earth and astonishingly make a dash for it. But hold on, we all know that trees can't suddenly sprout legs and dash across snowy landscapes, right? Then, in a stunning encore, a second tree repeats this uncanny performance. This time, it's as though the tree lifts its roots and trots right across our view. If you squint, look closer, and focus at the base of the tree, there's something unusual. It's tricky to spot at first, but as your eyes adjust, it becomes more visible. What you're seeing is a creature of considerable size, standing upright on two legs. The creature's physique is similar to a human, but it wields an extraordinary power far beyond human capability. The strength needed to yank mature trees straight from the earth is massive. Clearly, we're not looking at an average man here. While Bigfoot, the legendary creature of North American folklore, has been known to knock down trees, this display of raw power seems almost beyond belief. However, the footage isn't sharp enough to confirm the identity of this mighty creature. All we can confidently say is that it's a bipedal being and seems to share some anatomical characteristics with humans. Could we be witnessing the antics of a real-life giant? Or perhaps it's a mythical troll striding through the Sierra Nevada? The possibilities are as thrilling as they are puzzling. We invite you to share your thoughts and theories. Who or what do you think is behind these extraordinary woodland events? Calling all scientists and nature enthusiasts for this next video, we have a creature swimming around the shallow waters of a canal. But what is it? It seems intelligent, since it appears to be interacting with the person behind the camera. Is it an undocumented species of fish, or perhaps a strange mutation that has survived into adulthood? Whatever it is, its face sure is creepy. It has almost human-like eyes. It's unclear the true size of the creature, as the majority of its body remains underwater. We can see several small fins near its head that must help it swim. Could it be some species of eel? If any scientists or biologists have a guess as to the identity of this creature, we'd love to hear from you. In this video, we have a thrilling encounter captured by an individual who prioritizes their own safety above all else. As the story goes, the owner of this intriguing footage became aware of strange sounds emanating from outside their home during the stillness of the night. Their initial assumption leaned towards the possibility of a black bear rummaging through their garbage, which added an element of suspense to their experience. With a mix of curiosity and caution, they skillfully maneuvered their way to retrieve a camera, ensuring they remained within the secure confines of their home. Just imagine the anticipation building up as the camera started rolling, ready to capture whatever mysterious creature was lurking in the shadows. And then, as if emerging from the depths of the unknown, a pale and ghoulish entity suddenly comes into view. It moves with an ethereal grace, yet its choice to traverse on all fours gives it an unnerving quality that sends shivers down the spine. The creature possesses an oddly human-like face and arms, creating a paradoxical fusion of the familiar and the utterly supernatural. With each stride it takes, the tension mounts, leaving viewers to ponder the true nature of this otherworldly being. Is this an authentic recording of yet another chilling encounter with the infamous crawler? Or is it merely a fabrication, cleverly crafted through the use of computer-generated imagery? The creature's awkward movements could be interpreted as a byproduct of well-executed CGI, potentially designed to weave a terrifying tale for unsuspecting viewers. It ultimately becomes a matter for judgment and discernment, with each individual left to decide for themselves the level of authenticity lying within this spine-chilling footage. In this captivating footage, we witness a rather odd sight, a creature that appears to resemble a crab, engaged in a rather tense encounter with two dogs on what seems to be a picturesque beach. Now, I must admit, the video quality is not exactly top-notch, and the lighting conditions leave much to be desired. Unfortunately, no additional information was provided to us alongside this footage. But fear not, we're all here to do some investigative work and decipher whether this is a legitimate encounter with a new species of cryptid or a cleverly crafted fabrication. As we scrutinize this footage, it becomes apparent that this enigmatic creature bears an incredible resemblance to a giant crab. Its movements, too, are remarkably crab-like. Now, keep in mind, the depths of our planet's oceans remain vastly unexplored, even more so than the vast expanse of outer space. So it is indeed conceivable that this mysterious creature could have emerged from the darkest corners of the sea. However, what puzzles us is its presence on land. We do have historical records documenting the existence of colossal sea-dwelling creatures from the ancient age of the dinosaurs. Could this crustacean be a leftover relic from a bygone era? Or perhaps has someone skillfully manipulated reality from behind a computer screen, blending fantasy with the mundane? Alrighty folks, this one's definitely gonna make you play detective. Take a peek at this cool Trailcam footage we got here. This camera's set up in a thick part of the forest, watching over everything that goes bump in the night. Now squint a bit and check out the bottom part of the video. See that? there's a shadow dancing around, just out of the camera's clear sight. The camera's range isn't the best, but that shadow, well, it's definitely not a squirrel. Looking at everything around the shadow, I'd say we're dealing with something pretty big. I mean, it's probably as big as a bear or something, which would make a lot of sense, given the part of the woods where the camera was planted. But hang on. Don't jump to conclusions just yet. Take a second look at the shadow. Do you see what I see? There's something a bit off, a bit different about it. It kind of sort of looks like a giant primate, especially if you focus on the head and neck. Even the way it seems to move is more like a monkey than a bear. Could we be looking at the shadow of the Bigfoot here, or maybe the North American great ape? Though we got to admit, it's all just guessing with this grainy video. To really know for sure, we'd need more than just this shadowy clue. While this video might not win any awards for cinematography, it's undeniably eerie. It shows a pair of figures, their identities hidden from us, strolling along a quiet trail. The surroundings are shrouded in darkness, making it tough to discern the exact time of day or location thanks to the lackluster lighting conditions. The heart-stopping moment comes out of nowhere. One of the figures just evaporates. It's as if a cosmic eraser wiped them out from the frame of existence. This unexpected disappearance is so sudden that it's easy to miss on the first viewing. But if you rewind and hit play again, you can spot an elusive flicker of light the instant after the person vanishes. It's like a microscopic fireworks display, as though marking the moment of disappearance. Now, what does that mean? Was this unfortunate individual taken by a UFO, as some conspiracy theorists might argue? Or could there be a more logical, albeit unknown, explanation at play? These are the intriguing questions this footage raises. The video doesn't provide any clear answers, only sparking more mystery and speculation. The second person, now alone, doesn't stick around to solve the puzzle. They don't even pause to question what just happened to their friend, adding another layer of confusion to this already puzzling video. Is it fear that propels them onwards? Or perhaps they're too bewildered to react appropriately? We can only guess. We're about to explore a video that captures a seemingly innocent scene of children joyfully swinging on a playground. However, as our focus shifts to the left side of the frame, a sense of unease washes over us. Concealed amidst the foliage, something catches our attention, something moving. Curiosity piqued, it's time to scrutinize this anomaly. Zooming in, we analyze the figure carefully. It possesses a humanoid form, but upon closer inspection, its ghostly appearance sends shivers down our spines. This enigma befuddles us. It doesn't align with any of the ghostly apparitions or mythical creatures we've encountered on this channel before. Is it an entity that has eluded our explorations thus far, or is it a fabrication? A hoax intended to trick and surprise? What's captivating is that the kids engrossed in their play initially remain oblivious to the mysterious presence looming behind them. However, their innocent merriment is soon disrupted by a sudden realization. An air of discomfort fills the scene as they detect an otherworldly force observing their every move. While it's conceivable that this could be an older sibling in a Halloween mask, we can't dismiss the possibility that it's something far more sinister. Thankfully, the children managed to leave unscathed from this eerie encounter. However, it wouldn't be surprising if they decide to think twice before returning to that swing set in the near future. The unknown has gripped their young imaginations, its lingering effect likely dissuading them from revisiting their once beloved playground. Trailcams have become an essential tool in capturing fascinating videos and images of wildlife in their natural habitats. These devices have provided us with countless unexpected moments that leave us in awe. Sometimes, however, the footage they capture goes beyond the ordinary, venturing into the realm of the paranormal. We have a still image that, at first glance, appears to be nothing more than a tangle of brush occupying the foreground. However, if you direct your attention towards the left side of the screen, you'll notice three incredibly small dots emitting a mysterious and otherworldly glow. Upon careful analysis, it becomes evident that these dots are not the typical reflection of animal eyes that we often encounter on trail cams, nor do they resemble the translucent orbs that are commonly captured and interpreted as paranormal entities. The size of these dots is notably smaller than orbs, and their luminosity seems to surpass what one might expect from a mere reflection. So what exactly could these dots signify? As the so-called experts, we must remain unbiased and open to various explanations. It is plausible to consider that these glowing dots may signify something supernatural, a presence beyond our understanding. Alternatively, we cannot dismiss the idea that this could be a mere glitch in the trail camera, an unexpected anomaly that distorts our perception of reality. When attempting to identify these dots, it is challenging to think of any organic material or object that could reflect the camera in such a distinct manner. The presence of these mysterious dots was unsettling enough for the owner of this image to reach out to us, seeking our help in unraveling this enigma. It's now your turn, dear viewers. What are your thoughts on this captivating image? What could these glowing dots represent? Now, I must say this next clip is quite intriguing. It was captured in a humble backyard where nature intertwines with human territory. The camera focuses on the backside of a dog, lying peacefully on the lush green grass. What catches our immediate attention is the intense fixation of the dog towards something in the distance. It's as if all their senses are heightened, their body language revealing a sense of anticipation and curiosity. As we look more closely, our eyes are drawn to a peculiar sight. Two shining orbs reflecting the light of the camera pierce through the darkness, a mysterious presence lurking just out of reach. One can't help but wonder who or what possesses such radiant, glowing eyes. The dog seems to be engaged in a silent standoff, as if engaged in a silent battle of wills with this enigmatic figure concealed in the shadows. Given the nature of our channel, predominantly centered around the supernatural, it is only natural for our minds to wander towards the realm of cryptids and inexplicable phenomena. It's in this moment that we are presented with a tantalizing conundrum. Could it be a creature from the depths of folklore, venturing into our ordinary world? The possibilities are endless. However, it is essential to acknowledge that not all that glimmers in the night is supernatural in origin. After all, our world is teeming with diverse wildlife, each harboring its own intrigue. The creature with the luminous eyes could very well be a humble possum, a mischievous raccoon, or even just the neighbor's beloved feline companion out for a nighttime adventure. Alas, with videos such as these, certainty is a rare find. Nonetheless, there remains a sliver of possibility that the eyes that captivate us might belong to something more sinister. Throughout history, dogs and cats have frequently exhibited a heightened sensitivity to paranormal occurrences, acting as our loyal protectors, alerting us to imminent danger that eludes our human perception. Next up, we're looking at some wild footage straight off a trail camera. It's got a pair of coyotes in it, but they're not alone. They've got company. Two unexpected, somewhat eerie visitors, to be precise. The coyotes are nipping around the scene, zipping to and fro in the shot. But don't let that distract you from what's going on in the background. From the looks of it, there are two more pairs of eyes, glowing a soft gleam, piercing through the pitch black of the night. They're sort of hidden, almost like they're hanging out behind the thicket. If you squint, you can make out two separate shapes. It's something worth pondering over. What's even more peculiar is the coyotes seem pretty cool about it. They don't look startled or concerned, but it's clear as day there's definitely something else in the frame. And the coyotes' gaze? It's aimed straight at the camera. Now, these mystery guests, they don't seem to have bodies, or faces, for that matter, at least none that the camera can pick up. Most of these trail cams use infrared to film things at night. Whatever these visitors are, it's possible the infrared isn't able to show us what they really are, so we're a little stumped. If you've got some guesses on what these could be, we're all ears. Give us your thoughts. You're about to witness something extraordinary, something that is definitely not your everyday sighting. Let me be clear, though. The peculiar isn't something you'll see in this footage, but something you're about to hear, something that can only be described as totally wild. Let me give you a bit of context. This video was recorded at the edges of the mystical Olympic National Park, a place known for its breathtaking beauty and rich diversity of wildlife. But here's the crazy part. What you're going to hear in this video sounds like the howling of some kind of primate echoing through the forest. The hitch? There's absolutely no record of primates inhabiting North America, let alone this park. Mind you, Olympic National Park is no stranger to wildlife. It's a haven for a wide array of mammal species, each with its own distinct sounds and calls. Deer, elks, bobcats, and even bears roam these woods, but none of them, I repeat, none of them make a noise even remotely similar to this spine-tingling howl. So what on earth could it be? Could this be the long-awaited sound recording of the mythical Bigfoot, you wonder? An interesting question indeed. The Pacific Northwest, with its dense forests and remote wilderness, has long been considered a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings, creating a wave of excitement and speculation amongst locals and tourists alike. The tales of the locals are intriguing. They claim to have heard these mysterious creatures howling in the woods since the sightings began. Despite these reports, until this moment, no one has been successful in capturing these eerie sounds. Until now, that is. Is this the real deal, a true auditory evidence of Bigfoot's existence, or is it something else entirely? You decide. Sit tight and listen carefully as we delve deeper into the enigmatic forests of the Pacific Northwest. This is one mystery we're excited to explore together. Buckle up because you're in for a wild ride. In this video, we observe a typical white-tailed deer displaying its natural curiosity towards a trail cam. Deer, like this one, are naturally inquisitive creatures, especially during their early years. Being prey animals, they possess a keen awareness of their surroundings and take note of any alterations in their environment. In this particular case, it seems that this deer spotted the newly installed trail cam and felt compelled to investigate. As we observe the footage, we notice something intriguing about the deer's eyes. They reflect the light from the camera, causing them to appear as though they're glowing in the dark. Although this may seem eerie in photos, it is actually a common occurrence among nocturnal animals. This fascinating phenomenon is known as eye shine, and is a result of a minute mirror-like structure located behind the deer's eyeball. This feature aids the animal in improving its vision during the nighttime hours. In conclusion, this video captures a typical encounter between a curious white-tailed deer and a trail cam. Deer's natural curiosity, particularly when they are young, leads them to investigate any changes in their environment. The glowing effect observed in the deer's eyes is simply a result of eye shine, a fascinating adaptation that helps them see better in the dark. Now I want to share with you all a fascinating video that I stumbled upon recently. It's footage captured by a security camera, and it definitely caught my attention. At first glance, it seems to show a human walking across the frame, but upon closer inspection, there's something peculiar about this figure. It's almost as if it's not quite a human being. You see, this mysterious being takes these long, awkward strides as it moves hastily. Its movements lack the grace and fluidity typically seen in human locomotion. This raises an intriguing question. Could this creature be naturally inclined to move on all fours? It's certainly a possibility worth considering. However, I must admit that the video quality is exceedingly poor, which makes identifying the creature exceedingly challenging. Is it some sort of shapeshifter, like a skinwalker attempting to imitate a human form? Or perhaps it's an entirely different entity altogether. The chances of capturing a Bigfoot or Sasquatch on a security camera far away from the dense cover of the forest seem highly improbable. So, what exactly could this creature be? One theory is that it's simply a person who struggles with coordinating their movements in a cohesive manner. We all know that not everyone possesses the grace and poise of a ballet dancer. But then again, there's a lingering possibility that this is something beyond our comprehension. Unfortunately, due to the blurry footage, we are left with the task of drawing our own conclusions. I encourage you to examine the evidence for yourself and decide what this mysterious being could truly be. It's a bit of a puzzle, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter. What do you think? Get ready to have your detective skills put to the test with this image I've got for you. Just take a look at this Trailcam picture captured in eastern Ohio, giving us a glimpse into the local wildlife. But hold on tight, because things are about to get seriously puzzling. Right off the bat, we can see a creature lurking in the frame. It's got a sleek black coat and clearly exhibits 4 legs. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The paws look unmistakably feline, lacking any visible claws. But hang on, this ain't your ordinary house cat we're dealing with here. This creature is absolutely massive, defying any preconceived notions we may have had. To add to the perplexity, the darkness of its body shrouds its facial features in ambiguity. It's impossible to discern any details, making us wonder what secrets this creature might be hiding. And then there's this strange white spot near what could be its face. Are those teeth peeking out from the darkness, ready to expose its true nature? Or could it simply be a glitch in the camera, playing tricks on our minds? Now, if you thought the black creature had your brain tied up in knots, take a gander at what we have next. On the right side of the frame, we're confronted with a truly perplexing sight, a ghostly apparition resembling wisps of smoke swirling around. The questions just keep piling up. What in the world is this ethereal presence doing here? And more importantly, what could possibly connect these two enigmatic entities? Is there a rational explanation behind this image, or are we witnessing something truly inexplicable? We might consider the possibility of a camera malfunction, but trust me when I say that this glitch is unlike anything I've encountered before. I'm dying to know what you make of this bewildering image. So go ahead and drop your ideas in the comments below. Here we have an intriguing still image that has captured the attention of many. It depicts what appears to be a fascinating creature, a peculiar combination of a bear and an ape. The question arises, could such creatures be real? Is it possible that this elusive creature is none other than the legendary Bigfoot? It's worth noting that Bigfoot sightings often lack substantive evidence, making it a subject of great curiosity and speculation. The scarcity of high-quality images adds to the mystery surrounding this giant ape-like being. As we explore this image, we find ourselves pondering if it could be providing an alternative perspective on the creature in question. Examining the image closely, one cannot help but notice the creature's striking physical traits. With its strong and sturdy limbs, it certainly seems capable of walking on 2 legs, lending credibility to the idea that it possesses the ability to choose its mode of locomotion. However, despite these apparent traits, it is essential to maintain a healthy skepticism until more concrete evidence emerges. To truly identify this puzzle, we would need additional compelling evidence and, ideally, a DNA sample. In the absence of such conclusive proof, it is crucial to consider the possibility that the image may have been manipulated or doctored to create this captivating and seemingly impossible animal. Turn your attention towards the luminescent sphere of white near the trunk of the tree. At the initial glance, it might seem as though a radiant orb is hovering above the undergrowth of the forest, sparking your imagination. But alas, that captivating idea isn't exactly right. Pay close attention as the glowing ball detaches itself from the verdant grass and watch it morph into a pale, unhealthy-looking face. The eye sockets are unsettling voids in its head, creating an eeriness that is hard to shake off. The features of this entity are tricky to discern, making it all the more mysterious. At first glance, it may seem as though you're staring at a bare skull, a terrifying thought indeed. But if you squint a bit and observe closely, you'll notice a minimal amount of flesh clinging to it, although it's indeed a sparse covering. If the captured footage does portray reality, then this entity can be categorized as a crawler, without any doubt. Crawlers are believed to pose a threat to humans, making it wise to maintain a safe distance from areas where their presence has been reported, particularly during the night. An interesting fact about these creatures is their ability to mimic various sounds and voices, used as a lure to draw you closer. However, the one in the footage seems to be displaying an unusual mode of movement. Its actions come off as mechanical, almost resembling a robot. It could be a minor glitch in the camera that caused this peculiar portrayal, or perhaps it's an extremely realistic fabrication designed to fool viewers. The validity of this footage is something you must decide for yourself. Whether real or counterfeit, it undeniably provides an exciting glimpse into the fascinating and somewhat chilling world of creatures like the crawler. Take a look at this next footage. The eerie atmosphere is palpable as we witness the mysterious figures walking towards the woods, their backs facing the camera, leaving us wondering about their intentions and the secrets that lie hidden within these wooded realms. The taller individual, dressed in a flowing white gown, exudes an air of otherworldliness. Though their gender remains uncertain, the stark contrast in height leads us to believe it is likely a male presence. Walking beside him is a woman, donning a medium-length dress, invoking a sense of vulnerability within her delicate frame. These two individuals, devoid of any belongings or personal effects, captivate our curiosity as to what drives them into the depths of the night and towards the foreboding woods. According to the owner of this footage, it originates from the security cameras of a mental asylum. We learn that the woman, dressed in the ethereal gown, was a patient within the institutional walls, her mind gripped by the haunting grip of schizophrenia. She often spoke of ethereal beings, tall and pale, clad in white robes, who relentlessly beckoned her into the depths of the dense forest. The fear and anxiety these apparitions induced within her were palpable, yet she dared not unveil their intentions. In her dreams, she would succumb to their lure, unable to resist their call, even when her instincts longed to retreat. Regrettably, the medical professionals she consulted dismissed her torment as mere figments of her troubled mind, insisting that none of these horrors were real. They denied the existence of these white-robed men who haunted her every thought. Then, one fateful morning, the staff went to check on the woman, only to discover her inexplicable absence. Panic ensued as the entire hospital was scoured, desperately searching for any trace of the missing patient. It was during this desperate search that the security footage became the key to unraveling this enigma, exposing the chilling reality of her disappearance. As we scrutinize the footage closely, we observe that the woman appears to be in a peculiar trance-like state, her eyes glazed over with a vacant stare. Despite the grave danger that looms before her, she willingly follows the tall, spectral figure, obediently venturing further into the darkness of the woods. Upon closer inspection, our eyes are drawn to another indistinct figure lurking within the trees, its form vaguely resembling that of a man, beckoning her with eerie gestures. The woman, caught in the grip of this sinister allure, succumbs to her inner demons and vanishes into the night. The local authorities, faced with the daunting task of unraveling this terrifying mystery, relentlessly pursued any trace of the missing woman. Their investigation revealed no tangible evidence of her existence, leaving them to question the credibility of her claims and the elusiveness of the spectral figure she described. It was as if these entities, if they were indeed real, effortlessly melted into the darkness, leaving no trace of their presence. As the footage concludes, we are left with a disquieting sense of the unknown. Has the woman fallen victim to her fragmented mind, losing herself within the clutches of schizophrenia? Or has she truly encountered something far more sinister than any doctor could comprehend? Imagine you're scrolling through your hiking photos, reminiscing about the beautiful landscapes and memorable moments captured on your adventures. It can be quite amusing to stumble upon a photobomb by a curious animal, adding a touch of unexpected charm to your snapshots. However, not all photobombers are innocent creatures of nature. Sometimes you come across a photo that leaves you with a sense of unease, like this particular image of a joyous hiking couple. At first glance, everything seems ordinary, but if you examine the photo closely, you'll notice something peculiar lurking in the background. Just behind the man's shoulder on the left side, there's a dark figure that catches your eye. It appears to be humanoid, but its features are shrouded in mystery. Now, when you're out in the wilderness, far away from the comforts of civilization, the natural tendency is to think of Bigfoot as the prime suspect in such situations. However, as we take a deeper dive into this photo, things become less clear-cut. The creature in question doesn't have the typical ape-like appearance that is often associated with Bigfoot sightings. Instead, its facial characteristics resemble that of a human, which raises the possibility of it being a different cryptid altogether, perhaps a crawler or a rake. If you were to ask my opinion, encountering a Bigfoot would be preferable in this scenario. Bigfoots tend to avoid human contact and generally keep their distance, whereas crawlers, on the other hand, have a different agenda. They possess a tendency to try and lure unsuspecting individuals towards them, which is rather unsettling. As for the reason behind their actions, it remains a mystery. You could speculate just as well as I could, for there aren't many accounts of people surviving close encounters with these crawlers. So what exactly is this photobomber? The truth is, it's difficult to say for certain. The ambiguity surrounding its identity only adds to the enigma and intrigue. Is it a misidentified Bigfoot, or perhaps an unknown species of cryptid altogether? Until we have more information and evidence, it'll continue to be an unsolved puzzle, leaving us with endless speculation. Let's venture into the breathtaking landscape of a remote mountain range in northern Wyoming, situated just west of the magnificent Yellowstone National Park. Despite the time of year, where one might typically expect the snow to have melted away, we are greeted with a surprising sight. The mountain pass before us is still partly veiled in a pristine white blanket, untouched by the warmth of the approaching summer. Today, we dive into the remarkable story of a group of adventurous backpackers who stumbled upon an awe-inspiring scene while traversing the rugged trails of this majestic wilderness. It's crucial to note that they were a staggering distance of at least 35 miles away from any semblance of human civilization, entirely secluded amidst the untamed beauty of nature. The backpackers, consumed by the beauty surrounding them, suddenly find their attention drawn to a captivating presence gracing the vast expanse of the mountain landscape. Like a mythical creature emerging from the depths of a storybook, a large bipedal primate comes into view. Its casual stride seems to effortlessly navigate the uneven terrain, captivating the backpackers' attention and piquing their curiosity. Yet, owing to the considerable distance that separated them, these intrepid explorers were unable to discern the true nature of this enigmatic being until they meticulously reviewed the footage they had captured. Initially, they assumed it was a solitary hiker clad in dark attire, blissfully unaware of the extraordinary encounter that awaited them. Concerned for the well-being of this individual, lacking any equipment or gear necessary for a mountain expedition, the backpackers instinctively called out, offering assistance to this seemingly lost soul. Only upon the safe return from their eventful hike did this group realize the staggering truth hidden within their footage. Astonishingly, they had unknowingly recorded a fleeting glimpse of none other than Bigfoot, a legend steeped in folklore and mystery. It was during their visit to the nearby ranger station that the enormity of their finding became unequivocally clear, transforming their initially ordinary hiking trip into an unforgettable brush with the extraordinary. So, check out this incredible Trailcam footage I stumbled upon. It captures a mesmerizing moment with a nimble gray fox gracefully navigating the dense forest. Now, I know the fox might grab your attention initially, and let me tell you, it's a sight to behold. But for a moment, let's divert our gaze towards something peculiar lurking in the shadows. Can you spot those eerie, glowing eyes? They stand out, but not nearly as brightly as the fox's mesmerizing peepers, indicating that they are some distance away. As our cunning fox continues its meandering journey, it seems blissfully unaware of the enigmatic presence concealed within the darkness. Now here's where things get really curious. Those eyes, those elusive eyes blink a couple of times, as if trying to communicate some mysterious message. But wait, my friends, the strangest thing happens next. They vanish, dissolving into the night in an utterly peculiar manner. Now, if I were to hazard a guess, I'd say these eyes don't belong to any familiar local wildlife species. They possess an otherworldly allure, leaving us with more questions than answers. And that's where you come in, my fellow curious minds. With this astounding footage, your guess is truly as good as mine. So, let your imagination roam wild and share your theories about these mystifying eyes captured amidst the journey of our charming gray fox. Check out this snapshot captured in the lush greenery of Washington state. Now, this isn't your everyday commonplace nature picture. Nope, not at all. You see, Washington state, known for its diverse landscape that varies from West Coast beaches, sprawling forests, mighty rivers, to mountain ranges, holds more than just your regular wilderness beauty. As you look at this snapshot, you can't help but feel there's something unusual about it, something eerie that's hiding in plain sight. As your eyes start scanning the photo from left to right, you stumble upon something peculiar nestled between the thick trunks of the evergreens. It's a face, not one of a bear or a deer, but something more human. But it's not exactly right, is it? Something's off about it. Squint a little, lean in, and there it is, the unmistakable features of a primate. Shocking, isn't it? The question buzzing in everyone's head right now is, how did a primate end up in the middle of a Washington forest? Well, it could very well be someone's pet that's gone AWOL. As unlikely as it might sound to some, there are folks out there who fancy having unusual, exotic pets, and they go to great lengths to keep them a secret. Can't rule out that possibility, can we? But there's something else too. As you take a closer look, the size of this creature seems a bit off. It isn't huge enough to pass off as a Sasquatch, a legendary creature said to inhabit the forests of North America. But could it be an entirely new species of primate that somehow managed to stay off our radars, choosing to live undisturbed in the dense wilderness? This could be a remarkable discovery, a new puzzle piece in the great mystery that is nature. Either way, this photo sure leaves us with more questions than answers. Guess we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for more such surprises in the Washington forests. And who knows, maybe next time we'll catch a full glimpse of this enigmatic creature. We're now peering into an intriguing slice of time, captured on video by a band of intrepid trail riders traversing the sprawling lowlands of eastern Montana. You can see them divided into two teams for the purpose of this ride. The first trio is visible on camera, their horses' hooves lightly crunching on the trail as they approach the fringes of the forest. The second duo is perched higher on the hillside, busily recording the scene below. Initially, as they merrily trotted along, their minds filled with thoughts of adventure, none of the riders noticed anything unusual. Their eyes were glued to the path ahead, appreciating the serene beauty of their surroundings, completely oblivious of what they were about to capture on their camera. It wasn't until later, after the day's ride was over, and they huddled together, excitedly reviewing the footage, that they caught something odd. There, subtly concealed amongst the dense foliage, appeared to be a large ape-like figure standing as still as a statue. It seemed to be keenly observing the riders as they rode by, its form perfectly camouflaged within the woodland backdrop. The shape of it was so convincingly primate-like that it was easy to miss unless you were purposefully searching for it. Its ability to blend into the surrounding wilderness was quite remarkable, making one wonder, could it be more than a mere trick of light and shadow? Could it be that the shadowy figure was the result of the forest's natural lighting? Perhaps it was just the way the sunlight dappled through the leaves, creating an illusion of a creature where none actually stood. Or could there be another explanation? Could it be possible that what they captured on video was an elusive being, rumored to inhabit the wilderness, the legendary Bigfoot perhaps? This question certainly sent a thrilling chill down their spines as they revisited the footage over and over again. It's a mystery you will have to ponder upon and ultimately decide for yourself. Could a Bigfoot really exist undetected in the vast and unspoiled wilderness of Montana? The evidence, tantalizingly suggestive, leaves the question hanging in the air. It's certainly plausible that if such a creature was to make a home in the wilderness Montana, with its expansive, quiet forests and scarce population, could be the ideal sanctuary. Picture this. You're driving along a popular roadway, minding your own business, when suddenly, out of the corner of your eye, you spot a mother deer and her fawn. Amazing, right? But wait, hold on just a sec, because it gets even crazier. Out of nowhere, another fawn magically appears. I mean, what in the world? Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not that unusual for deer to have twins, right? But here's the kicker. This second fawn seemed to appear out of thin air. Now, I present to you this mind-boggling footage that captured this jaw-dropping moment. Take a look, and I challenge you to see if you can figure out where exactly this mysterious deer came from. We've scrutinized this footage multiple times, and I gotta be honest with you, there's just no logical explanation here. Could it be some sort of camera glitch, or is there something supernatural going on? Let me know if you can spot where this third deer was at the beginning of the footage. I am eagerly awaiting your theories and explanations because seriously, this is one perplexing mystery that has me scratching my head. As we transition to this new environment, the footage comes alive with the intensity of a handheld camera. The person behind it seems on edge, their hands shaking and their movements frantic, and soon enough we'll understand why. In the dim light, it's not easy to discern details, but one thing is unmistakable. A creature emerges within the frame. With its pale skin and glowing eyes, this mysterious being captures our attention. It appears to be a humanoid cryptid, but the limited footage makes it challenging to determine its exact identity. As the camera pans across, we catch a glimpse of the creature lying on the ground, possibly on its stomach. The slender form and long limbs suggest humanoid characteristics, particularly in its arms and hands. But beyond that, any further identification remains elusive. The pale complexion and human-like facial features hint at two possible classifications: the eerie crawler or the unnerving rake. However, given the uncertain nature of the encounter, it's entirely plausible that this creature could be a shapeshifter, capable of assuming various forms to deceive its unsuspecting victims. Whatever the case may be, the camera owner wisely decided not to stick around and investigate further, and honestly, who can blame them? This video that has been making waves on the internet, and I'm sure some of you might have already stumbled upon it. Today, we are going to explore a peculiar sighting, a koi fish with a human face. That's right, you heard me correctly. Now you might be wondering if this is just some sort of optical illusion caused by the fish's unique facial pattern. And that's a valid thought. After all, nature has a way of surprising us with its remarkable patterns and designs. But is there something more to this bizarre phenomenon? Could it be a genetic mutation occurring in the fish, leading to this uncanny resemblance? Or perhaps it's just the camera playing tricks on us, struggling to focus on a subject submerged in water. Believe it or not, despite the countless speculations floating around the internet, there is still no concrete explanation for this astonishing discovery. Experts and enthusiasts alike have been scratching their heads trying to come up with a plausible theory that could unravel this mystery, but so far none have succeeded. The ancient Ram Inn has a chilling reputation as a hotspot for paranormal activity. The stories surrounding this place are enough to send shivers down your spine. Legend has it that the land itself was cursed long before the inn was even built. It is said that the inn sits directly on the intersection of two ley lines, powerful energy pathways that are believed to connect significant sacred sites. In this case, the ley lines lead directly to the ancient wonder of Stonehenge. According to local lore, the ley lines from Stonehenge act as a conduit, channeling some sort of supernatural power into the very foundations of the Ram Inn. Imagine, if you will, a force flowing through the land, infusing it with an otherworldly energy. Whether you choose to believe in the power of ley lines or not, there is no denying the eerie atmosphere surrounding this place. Adding to the intrigue is the fact that the Ram Inn is situated on a pagan burial ground dating back around 5,000 years. It seems that the history of this location is steeped in darkness and mystery. But let's delve into the specifics of the inn itself. Originally, it served as housing for the slaves and workers who were involved in the construction of St. Mary's Church. The building of the church was no small feat, as it required diverting several streams and waterways around its premises. Now, according to ancient folklore and rituals, tampering with waterways is often considered a grave mistake. It's believed that such actions can unwittingly open portals to realms beyond our understanding. This adds an additional layer of intrigue to the already haunted history of the Ram Inn. It is said that the inn has witnessed witch burnings, ritual sacrifices, and even devil worship. In fact, skeletons have been discovered beneath the staircase, belonging to both children and adults. With such a dark and disturbing past, it comes as no surprise that the Ram Inn is rumored to be haunted. The allure of this place attracts not only historians, but also avid ghost hunters looking for a taste of the supernatural. Among the numerous reports of paranormal activity, there is a particularly intriguing recording. In the recording, we witness an entity playfully toying with the strap of a luggage bag. The strap moves on its own, captivating and startling the woman watching it. Considering the history of this place, this strange encounter seems relatively benign. But it raises the question, is the paranormal activity at the Ram Inn connected to the ley lines, or is it simply the presence of trapped spirits seeking interaction with the world of the living? The mystery of the Ram Inn continues to perplex and captivate those brave enough to explore its haunted halls. Whether you believe in ley lines or are skeptical of the supernatural, there is no denying that this ancient establishment holds a power and energy that cannot be easily dismissed. Are you ready to step into the shadows and unravel the secrets this haunted inn holds? If you liked watching these videos, then consider subscribing. I release videos at least twice a week. Stay frosty, and we'll see you in the next one.